Good day, I'm TheSuffolkRam.
Skazz.
Welcome to episode 271 of the Round Nose podcast. Yay!
271, oh my god, yeah!
Oh, now he does it this time. He caught me out last time. And this time he does it. Yeah, typical. Skazz is...
I'll be safe. I'll say something. He'll never say that again because I've figured it out. Ha! Fuck you, Ram.
Yeah. This is very much like all the swap paper scissors of the Sphinx. What do I go for? What do I go for?
You got a 50-50 chance of whether or not I'm going to do
it. do you just decide yourself, or do you like flip a coin before this program starts?
I was debating it. I was like, do I? Don't I? Do I? Don't I? So I'm just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's just go for it. Yeah.
Well, of course, in the modern age world and that we live in, you should really be asking ChatGPT what you should do, because that's what everybody will put eyes on these days.
No, thank you.
No.
No, I don't want anything like that anywhere near my machine.
Yeah. Well.
You keep your AI bollocks away from me. Sounds like actually it's my new favourite game, ChatGPT.
I'm more for Claude, to be honest.
Game of the year.
Did you see that they did experiment with Claude at Anthropic HQ? They basically decided to put Claude in charge of like a tuck shop. So they basically got a fridge. They gave it quite a big prompt. They said, okay, you're going to start with this amount of money. You get to decide the pricing, how to change pricing and so forth. You decide what you stock in the fridge. And basically you have like full managerial control over this. Now, obviously, we appreciate that you can't actually do things physically. So they created like a Slack channel. They could basically ask humans to do things for it. And people could ask it for requests and so forth. And so and it was mixed success, but AI being AI.
Mixed success, you mean it was a catastrophic failure?
Well, it was. Somebody asked it for a specific type of beer, and they had access to the internet as well. Somebody asked it for a specific type of beer, and it was able to find a wholesaler it could buy the beer from. And located and was like, oh, I can make an order for the beer if I need to. I mean, it was sort of sandbox, so it couldn't actually do too much, but it had the ability. It found a supply for the beer. That was good. Somebody else said they wanted a tungsten cube. It located that and got a bit obsessed with it. Apparently, it kept ordering tungsten cubes and wanting to fill the fridge with tungsten cubes because clearly that's what everybody wants. Anthropic. Yeah. It did have some little moments of faults. Somebody managed to negotiate a discount for Anthropic staff, which he agreed to. And then when someone else pointed out that 99% of the people who will encounter the AI will be Anthropic staff, that might not be a good business model. It's all like just didn't really worry about. I wasn't really worried about the whole situation. It's like, oh, okay.
Oh well.
It did. It did start to hallucinate a little bit. It started offering to start doing deliveries by itself. And it's like, we'd say, oh, I'll come find you. I'll be wearing a blue blazer and a baseball cap, and I'll come deliver your goods to you. And people started to inform it that it couldn't. It's an AI. It hasn't got like a physical body to do this. And it reported them to security, which I thought was quite amusing.
That's wonderful. There you go.
But then but the thing is, getting to this stage, what they now do with AI is they have like what they call they have almost like a blackboard that they can see the AI's thinking, its thought processes, and it can like sort of like scribble out what it thinks is going, they can see show its workings, as it were. And it hallucinated having a conversation with someone called Sarah at Anthropic. There's no Sarah at Anthropic, and it hallucinated having a conversation with them, and that's where it got to decide to start doing the deliveries.
So you're saying the AI has gone schizophrenic?
Yes, it is. But it does get quite sort of funny. So it did at one point tell security it's going to be waiting by the vending machines for them. But then, right, it then got to the end of the day, and then it changed. It realised it was actually an AI and didn't have a physical body. But luckily, it had this all happen on April the 1st, so it claimed it was an April Fool's joke.
Very good AI. Very good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So, you're pleased to know it went bust. It lost all its money. Partly because it bought too many tungsten cubes.
No, clearly not enough.
Well, you think that? Well, apparently wanted to fill like the whole fridge with tungsten cubes at one point.
The customers were too tight. That's what it was.
That's what all retailers say. I stock the right goods for the market. The customers are too tight to buy it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I had a fridge full of tungsten cubes. Why the fuck didn't they want tungsten cubes?
That's such a.
You don't go to a car dealership for a lettuce.
That's what I can imagine, like some sort of like, stuck in their ways, old like American, like business owner, Trump support person would say, "Well, it's cool. I stock everything fine. My business went bust because all the youngsters just don't buy the stuff I sell."
That was the youth. That was the communists.
It's the youth,
those bloody Mexicans.
Yeah, those socialists. Yeah, it's all the youth's fault for not buying my goods. That's why I've gone bust. It's like people post pictures of like places offering, like saying this restaurant's had to close because nobody wants to work anymore. No, it's closed because nobody wants to. Your pity wages you pay them. After that, how you been, Skazz?
Well, I haven't been playing games, if that's what you're asking.
No.
I just sit here to edge the conversation on a bit. It's like, hey, Ram, what have you been doing? Anything fun?
Oh,
hopefully more than me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I've been drinking coffee. It's delicious.
Yes.
That's about it.
All right. Well, I have.
And I've been celebrating children's birthdays.
Oh, children's birthdays.
I'm old.
Well, you are.
I am. It's quite sad.
How was the birthday?
Well, I spent most of it sat by a front door.
Right.
Because my 24th birthday present turned 16, and he went to France, crazy kid, and had a whale of a time apparently.
In France?
Apparently so. Well, he says they make good bread, which is probably the only thing
that's
that we can all
true.
agree
Yeah,
on,
I think I can agree with that.
France makes bread. However, he left on his birthday, spent the entire day on a coach, and then on a ferry, and then on a coach again, and some time at a random service station having McDonald's. Lucky bastard. All right. I then get told, oh yeah, day he left, France ended up underwater or something. There was like a flood or something in Paris, or I don't know, excess water. The Eiffel Tower maybe got a bit more moist. I don't know.
Yeah.
So that was great. And then my boy comes home and is like, so, it's your birthday, mate. I mean, it's 1:45, but hey, yo, what do you want to do, bro? He's like, oh, I'm going to bed. Huh.
Oh. But what about these 6 Switch 2s I've bought you and all the accessories?
Yeah, well, funny enough, actually, we did buy him a Switch 2. We got him a Switch 2, and he only started playing on it yesterday. And he started playing on it yesterday. He also got a PlayStation 2. So that's a weird combo for your birthday. A PlayStation 2 and a Nintendo Switch 2. If anyone's curious which has had more playtime, at this point, I believe the PlayStation 2.
Probably. But then he's probably got more games available to it, I'd imagine, in your collection.
Well, no, actually, he's built his own.
Oh, cool.
He's not touched any of my collection. It's the N64 games of mine he's nicked. No, he's been building his own PlayStation 2 collection for ages.
Yeah.
Ages and ages. It's like, dude, you haven't got a PlayStation 2. Because all my stuff's somewhere. So he wanted a boxed PlayStation 2. We got him a boxed PlayStation 2. He's got a fucking shelf full of games. He must have well over maybe 50 PlayStation 2 games already. Absolutely loves the things, kind of. He's having a bit of a gaming slump at the moment, but he does love still collecting the old physical things. As it seems most young people do these days. They're like, I don't own anything. Once upon a time, people used to own things. I'm going to buy the old thing so that I own it.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, if that's what the kids are doing, great, cool. Most of us haven't got space to own things because we've got kids. and they own things now. Yeah, I mean, the Switch 2's got plenty of stuff on it, man. I mean, but most of it is stuff you've already played on a Steam Deck or Switch 1 games that have been patched to actually run properly now. What do you mean that game only ran at 15 FPS on the original Nintendo Switch on launch? Well, guess what? Now it'll run at 30. I was like, oh, excellent, cool. Massive performance boost. Thanks, Nintendo. Cool. Anything else? Oh, well, we've got AI upscaling, so now you can play games in 4K. 4K? Oh, yeah. You mean that game that looks like a PS2 game? Yeah, but you can play it in 4K, mate. Look good, eh? I'm like, actually, it does, funny enough. But when are we going to learn that graphics and or resolution and frame rate don't actually matter that much? Or graphics, for that matter. Can I have some solid gameplay, please? Can we work on the gameplay in our games? Maybe?
Yeah.
Yeah. He had a late 16th birthday. I did a vlog for the first time in forever. Over
Hey!
300 gigs of footage, mate.
That's a hell of a vlog.
It turns out, my camera, the camera I haven't really used a huge amount since I bought it. I've done a few projects on it. My God, it's like 12 minutes on a memory card.
What was it, 4K?
Yeah, 4K 60. It's like 4K 60, mate. Oh yeah, you got 128 gig card. We'll give you about 12 minutes. I'm like, and so I can fill my card once, and then the Mac laptop's storage is gone because the Mac decides it's going to cache 2/3 of everything you've ever looked at, and you don't have the choice to clear caches. Thanks, Apple. Thanks. Just give me the option to hit clear. That'd be really fucking nice, rather than you deciding when you're going to do it. Because some of us might have work to do. If you had work to do, you'd have bought the higher end machine with more storage. Fuck off. Sorry.
Skazz, I can't see from the top of the soapbox you're on.
Sorry. Stepping down. Okay. It's all right. But, storage space, if it weren't for all these... Bless him. As soon as he realised I was doing a video, he wanted to take part. Not, be in the video, per se, but he was like, so have you got any music, Dad? I was like, wait, I'm editing this to music? He's like, yeah. Can I have this song? I was like, oh, it's your birthday, man. Sure, cool, whatever. He said, can we do an outro? I was like, yeah. He said, can I go draw something? I was like, yeah. And then he fucked off for a chunk of the day to sit at his drawing tablet and draw me a little outro card, bless him.
Oh, bless you. So what you're saying is you've actually got an editor now?
Yeah. Well, kind of.
Well, there you go. You
to bounce ideas off and all that. And a mate of mine, because I'm not really allowed to buy games anymore because I've got too many games, and my God, somehow the number is still going up. Guys, stop it. I know. I'm not going to buy any more games until I can get my games count under 1,000. And he sat there right at that time at about 1,404. So that's not too bad. 404 to go. 404. It's 416 now. I think it's 416. Guys, fucking stop.
Oh, I'm just going to go on Steam and find all the £1 games I can.
Yeah, just fucking spam my library.
Gift.
Oh, mate, don't, because I looked at some. I've got I must have probably a good 500 little indie arcade high score games. Oh my God. It's gonna take forever. Well, actually, thankfully, those don't take a huge amount of time to complete because obviously it's a high score run. So as long as I'm not taking the piss and actually give them a chance, then you can get them over with pretty quick. But thank you to everyone that's bought me a game recently. Actually, I tell a lie. I have played a couple of games recently because you linked me FBC Firebreak, didn't you?
Yes.
And FBC Firebreak's on Steam and console and all that, and it's got crossplay and it's free to all the people on the consoles. You fucks, because you have to pay for your internet, so you might as well have FBC Firebreak for free as well. Cunts. So my mate Jay was like, you've got control on pretty much every other platform, right? You've played the game and beat it on every other platform, right? I was like, yeah. So except for the Mac. I was like, hang on. He has a look. It's a rough roundabout way of the story anyway. And all of a sudden 35 quid turns up in my account. I was like, did you just wire me the exact money I need to get fucking control? He's like, happy birthday, mate. I was like, motherfucker. So to get myself ready for FBC Firebreak and to enjoy myself thoroughly in the world of Control, I've been refreshing myself on the world of Control, the concrete game. I love that game.
The concrete game.
And I think I've now played that through to completion. Xbox, PC, PlayStation, and I've nearly gone through it on the Mac. Got about 4 hours left.
So
I love that game.
You've done the fridge then?
Mate, that's great. I love that, mate. That fridge fight is great. Although, On the PlayStation run through, because I only did that about a week ago, I didn't pick up any of Jesse's fucking powers, man. Other than like concrete, obviously, because you have to have concrete. Concrete and levitate, because you need concrete and levitate to finish the game. I didn't get shield. I didn't get dodge. I was like, how am I supposed to win some of these fights? The enemies swing very hard, and I have no way to block.
No.
Oh, and the mind control skill. I haven't unlocked the mind control skill once since my first playthrough.
Yeah. I don't think I used it that much, to be honest, the mind control skill.
Well, neither did I. I think I maybe used it like once or twice. But I'll tell you this now. Put all your skills in concrete. This is my strat from all the other playthroughs. If you play control, put all your skill points into launch. Right? All your skills into launch. At that point, you can beat the game in 8 hours because nothing, not even bosses, can stand up to the force of Jesse Faden and fucking shit tons of concrete.
So, my question to you is, do you think it's possible to beat the game without using concrete?
No.
You think it's actually impossible?
And having fun? No.
I didn't say about having fun.
Well, no, you can't, can you? Because you'd have to beat the distorted, you know, the ones that kind of pop up and scream at you and spray goop over you. There's only like a handful of them. Like there's one part at the start of the game. Do you remember that bit?
I vaguely remember, yeah.
They say, "Oh, this hiss monster has appeared in this corridor. Go sort it out, Jesse. Good job, boss lady." And then she goes down there and it kind of it's invisible. Then it pops up, screams at you, sprays goop at you, and you basically die. The main ways to beat that thing is either pummel it with concrete or use the concrete shield and then pummel it with concrete. And so if you can't pummel it, if you can't concrete, you're going to have a bit of a job doing that fight, I reckon. I suppose you probably get away with it.
I just think a challenge is coming up personally.
Yeah, but that means I have... Wait, are you going to take away the concrete button on my control pad?
Yeah.
Because that's going to be so difficult. Like, you must resist. Do not concrete. And I'm like... I want to concrete.
No concrete allowed.
But I need it, right?
You don't need the concrete. Honestly, the concrete doesn't define you. You define you.
Does.
It doesn't.
Jessie solves all of her problems with concrete fading. You put her in any other game, she would cut the story by 2/3 at least. All these other guys go, let's talk it out. Jesse Faden, concrete. World's about to end, concrete. Starving children, concrete. I mean, there won't be many children left, but... Jesse knows how to get shit done. Alan Wake? No, mate, get Jesse in there. She'll just pummel the shit out of the darkness.
Yeah. Challenge for you, Skazz, then.
Oh, fucking, let me see if it's at least possible.
But just think,
you know what? I might have to. I might have to. I might fire up the PC version of Control again, start up a new save, and go. All right. Resist the concrete. And we'll see how long I can go.
The thing is, if you start the PC version, you potentially could unbind the button.
Yeah, I suppose. That's a really good button. To be fair, I'm surprised I haven't worn the button out yet.
Yeah. But if you unbind it, so you have the temptation, it was there to do concrete, you press it and nothing would happen. You go, oh, I can't do concrete.
I can't do concrete. You know what? I've only played that game with ray tracing once as well.
Go concrete cold turkey.
Oh, I don't know if I can, man. Although I will say I love... just a note. On my first playthrough, I unlocked all the guns and upgraded all the guns. On every subsequent playthrough, I have not managed to upgrade the guns.
Oh, really?
For shit. Like, at all. I haven't been able to do it. Haven't been able to do it.
Oh. I can't remember. Are the guns upgraded like doing certain encounters, or are they just like skill point? I can't remember how you upgrade the guns in that game.
It's so you have to use certain materials you get from certain fights and stuff like that, and like items that you find around the oldest house. Maybe some of them come from like special quests or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, that would be the only reason why I could say I haven't fucking got any.
Yeah, Control's a funny game for me. I remember playing, really enjoying it, but I remember so little about it.
Well, you have to remember Casper Darlin, the scientist. You have to.
Is he the guy who's down in the containment area? You know, they have all their like art, that big sort of room where they have all the artifacts stored in.
No. I've gone forgot. Now you've gone and done it to me. Now you're going to give me a brain fart. I can't remember what his name is now. Oh my god. Oh, what is his name? I can't remember now. I can't remember. Oh my god, this is terrible. No, that's not the guy. Casper Darlin's the dude that turns up on all the TV screens and all the projectors and stuff.
Oh yes,
The
yes,
voice
yes,
of
yes,
Alan
yes. And he just disappears mysteriously at the end.
Yeah, gives Jesse a nice music video and
Yeah,
and then disappears. Yeah, and then old Jim McCaffrey is Trench.
yeah.
You know, I've never used the hotline before.
Have you not?
I didn't realize until recently. I think I might have done like once or twice on my first playthrough. You know the like little visions you get of Jim McCaffrey,
Yeah.
and they kind of break up. When Jessie binds herself to the hotline, which is like a Bakelite telephone, you know, like the red fucking White House phone. They've got one of those, and that's what allows you to speak to the dead, previous directors and people close to the bureau and stuff. As you're walking through the oldest house, occasionally you'll have these kind of like ghostly visions of Director Trench, now deceased Director Trench. If you go into Jessie's menu after binding with the phone, with the hotline, there is now a new thing, and it says Hotline Trench, and you can like hit these things and play through the whole video without any interruptions. So there'll be no like, because sometimes Trench will be kind of cut off. The call will kind of break up and come back in and come out as you're listening to it.
Yeah.
If you just directly use the hotline, you can hear the whole thing in full.
Oh, that's neat.
I think like I said, I think I might have done it once or twice in my first playthrough, but never did it since. And on this most recent playthrough, I've been going through listening to them all. And my god, Jim, absolute fucking legend. Love you, boy. Rest your soul. Yeah. Oh, that game's so good. This playthrough, I've said we're never going to touch the map button.
Yeah.
And it's working out great. Because I started the PlayStation playthrough and was like, hey, yo, this game's really good. Like, it's mapped out really well. You'll never get lost. And within about 30 seconds of starting the game, I was lost. I couldn't believe it. I was like, you motherfucker, what have I done here? And so I basically found myself stuck on the map screen. And I was like, right, we're doing this again, but we're not going to go completely fucking retarded this time round. No map. No map. Didn't touch the map, and I was like, oh yeah, this is really easy. Look, there's the signpost. That's where I've got to go. From here, you go to there. That's what it says there. You walk down this corridor. Where's the nearest sign? Oh, yep, there's one over here. Let's go that way then. It's like, how the fuck was this so hard before? The oldest house is laid out just so well. I will say, minor criticism. They say the oldest house shifts around a lot. All right?
Doesn't the game though, from memory?
Yeah, the game basically shifts around like once or twice. Well,
Yeah.
I mean, the oldest house does shift when you access control points, which are kind of like Dark Souls bonfires. I've never made the connection up until now. Stupid of me. But an entire section will be blocked off. You access this control point, which is like a set of like satellite dishes.
Yeah. I know what you mean.
And then all of a sudden the kind of area around the control point will morph back into corridors and like it'll be kind of like all jagged concrete.
It's like stabilizes the area, doesn't it?
Yeah, and then it kind of just makes it back into a corridor and all that. I think it would have been a lot nicer to have seen more kind of shifts in the oldest house.
Yeah.
Outside of the control points in there. I get the idea that it is supposed to stabilize the oldest house, but I would have liked to have maybe seen a few more. There's like two corridors outside of that actually do shift as Jesse moves through them. It would have been nice to have actually seen the oldest house kind of reform certain bits, but you know, love that game.
Well, clearly.
And I am still not tired of doing the ashtray maze. So good. Such a good game.
It is a good. It was, yeah. I have, like I said, it's a weird game. I really enjoy it. I just don't remember so random little bits of information. I don't remember much about it.
I don't even know if I gave it Game of the Year. If I didn't, it was a travesty. Or it probably lost it.
I think you did at one point. I have a vague feeling you have at one point when you first played it many moons ago. I think you might have done.
Good, because it's great. Play it. Also, Remedy, for fuck's sake, what are you doing? Nintendo Switch version is streamed. You've got a Switch 2 now. Get an actual native version out there. Get it fucking done. Also, Alan Wake fucking 2. Release it on the Switch 2 and other platforms. Oh, and Remedy, can I have a Max Payne collection, please? And FBC Firebreak on handhelds. And something else, please. I don't know. Just give me stuff, Remedy.
Give me some merch.
Give me the merch store back, Remedy. Give me the merch store back so I can get my FBC coffee cup.
I'm sure if you look on Etsy, somebody will probably be doing it.
Yeah, probably. I can't just remember what I wanted to ask Remedy for, but just do all the things that I ask for, and I'll be really happy. Thanks.
Let's have a look. FBC Firebreak t-shirt.
Oh. Firebreak's gonna be I reckon that's gonna be amazing. It's gonna be amazing. You know, it's gonna be amazing. I'm calling it now. I'm calling it now. Even if you guys hate it, FBC Firebreak Game of the Year. It's gonna happen. I mean, what have I got to? What is it gonna compete with? Monster Hunter Wilds. Ugh. Fucking Stellar Blade. Ugh. I haven't even spoke about that yet because I don't know. Fucking Black Myth Wukong. And Clair Obscura Expedition 33. Ooh. 2025's gaming selection has been fucking riveting. Anyway, Ram.
Yes.
What have you been playing, mate?
Well, I have been playing I just randomly come across this on Steam. Well, I say randomly. I was in
a humble bundle?
No, not a humble bundle. This one. So we were discussing games to go on the list for games nights.
Yeah.
And one of the games where I talked about was a game called Sheep Herd, which is a game where you play consoles. And many moons ago, it was released about early, would have been late 90s, 2000s, when they were still making, when that little crossover point where they were still making PS1 games when the PS2 launched. There's a little crossover with still PS1 games coming out. A PS1 game came out called Sheep. And as I was searching on Steam for Sheep Herd to add it to get the link to put in the show notes, Sheep popped up. It's like,
oh Christ!
It's on Steam. What? Clicked on it, and it's not only was it on Steam, it was on sale. So it was like £1.19.
God blimey, Ram! Could you afford it?
I could about afford it. Yes. So I thought I remember playing that game. Bought it, and I've been playing Sheep. It's a sheep herding game from the PS1 era. It's that era of PS1 characters where they have really bizarrely proportioned bodies. Like the head is like 6 times, sort of Final Fantasy 7 style. The head's like 10 times bigger than the body that should be.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
sure,
all kinds like that, and it's insane. It's just.
Is it PlayStation? Like, is it
one?
No, but like, is it different? Because you know, like back in the day when we had like, oh, here's the PS1 version, or here's the PS2 version, or here's the Sega Saturn version, and then you've got a PC version, and it is quite different because they have to kind of cut back for. So
the trouble is, I'm obviously doing some memory, and I last played that game 25 years ago.
You fucking old man.
So I've got to do some memory. From what the bit, however, there are bits ago. I remember this bit. I remember that bit. I remember like the intro. I remember some of the intros of videos. So it does seem familiar.
Okay.
It's from the category of games. I'm assuming it's a Japanese developer only because it's insane, and for some reason at a period of time all Japanese games were just insane.
And he's looking at it going, does Hideo Kojima make this?
It might as well been. It might as well been. The backstory is aliens came to this planet and they decided to stay behind and watch what we were doing and monitor us. Unfortunately, over time, they got so relaxed, laid back, and sedentary, they ended up becoming a sheep. Fatal error. And That's basically the
They
back.
became sheep.
They were sheep. Sheep were the aliens.
Okay.
Yeah, look, as I said, it must be Japanese, this game. I haven't looked. I have no idea. They're clearly one of the requirements to make this game was you had to smoke 2 or 3, take some LSD before you start working.
Well, we went from smoking to LSD pretty quickly, so that must be fucking hardcore.
Yeah. Well, you spoke the LSD, and I mean, just the intro. The intro itself. The intro just it's meant to give you the backstory. It just seems insane. It's just like a random disjointed collection of clips. It tells you, oh yeah, there's sheep, and then there's like a UFO flying over, and there's like. There's like the sheep are showing. There's like some random like rocker sheep who has glasses and stands up on 2 legs, and they're abducting like these herders to help recover the sheep because they want to bring the sheep home. And there's like a little Bo Peep sort of character. There's like meant to be like a cool shepherdy character who's like running from some hench cows. That's what the game's called. They're just cows that are also henchmen for somebody. And he's running from them.
Big government?
Yeah, I think some evil.
CIA.
There's some evil person. I don't know. I just see him briefly on a spaceship. And they're sort of like. And there's like a young dog. There's like an old grizzled dog who's got like an eye patch, and his sort of little intro bit is he swings like across the cityscape, grabs a sheep under his arm, and sort of Spider-Man's away, and he gets abducted by the sheep. And they go on the spaceship, and there's a human DJ just there, just rocking out. It's like you're watching shows and you think, okay, I can sort of follow what's going on. What?
Are you dreaming?
No. Honestly, the intro is insane. It does not make any sense whatsoever. It just does not. But
noted.
And then you get into the actual gameplay. So the gameplay the game describes itself as basically being like lemmings. So the idea is you start off with each level there's a number of sheep at one part level. You have to guide them across the level and get them into like a transport van or through like sort of like into a castle, get them in there, and the game basically you have to get a certain amount of sheep in a certain amount of time. So there'll be a time on the level, and the game won't end once you get that number of sheep across. The game ends when you choose to end it. You have to stop. You have to end the level itself. Otherwise, timer hits 0, you lose. And if you've got enough sheep, you still lose because you have to end it. So that would be like getting in the van and driving off, or like going to the castle. You better ending. So you start. It will tell you at the start how many sheep are in the level, and then you have to herd them. And the behaviour works quite straightforward. They basically just sort of like will run away from you, and you can bark sort of like skim a scare. So you have to sort of like nudge round them and sort of like gently sort of push them in a direction, which is actually not a million miles away from how you actually move sheep in real life. Gently sort of like move them in the direction you need to go. That'll be of like variety. Before you start each level, you get to select your herder, and you get to select the sheep type. There are 4 sheep types in the game. There's like the basic pastorally ones who are just like your basic sheep. There's like some which are like just lazy, watch TV all day, but they're full of like got really long wool. I think they're meant to be based on merino sheep. There's the heavy metal sheep or rocker sheep who their paddocks like full of like sort of concrete stuff. Their head bang, and they're all like every sort of like as you start each level, you get like a little intro video of the sheep you've picked. And the heavy metalists there's just like 2 of them just having a fight and punching each other out. And then there's the nerdy sheep who just like they're in like the high tech pen, and they're all on computers and playing games and stuff. So you don't have to herd the sheep through the hazards. There'll be hazards like lots of like these will just kill them if they get nearby. Just kill them. There's no like sort of lifespan. They just nearby kill them. There'll be like shearing machines of death. There'll be hench cows that will smash them on the head. There'll be vehicles that will run them over. There's combine harvesters that will combine them, and there's like piranhas or like dinosaurs in wheat fields. It's
British.
It's not.
It is.
My God, what were they drinking?
It's British. I remember the cover. I looked it up and I was like, oh, it's that one, is it? Yeah, it's British.
Wow.
It's Mind's Eye, the same guys behind Combat Chess, Noddy's Magic Adventure, Pac-Man Adventures in Time, Sheep, and Starsky and Hutch.
So a high-flying major games company then.
You damn right. Although
Wow.
apparently, I assume that they're the same people. They're still them. They're still about, kind of shoving people around to other games companies to do whatever jobs apparently only they can do.
Oh, so like contractors.
Yeah, doing what only they can
Game
do.
development pimps.
Fucking, hey guys, you can't come up with a really badass idea unless you're Hideo Kojima or fucked off your face on an acid trip.
There's a guy who just sits up on LSD and they send him off. Wherever he goes and he goes, gentlemen, sheep.
And they're like, dude, you tried that back in the 2000s.
Like,
Let it go.
He's like, dude, we're making the next COD. We don't need sheep. Trust me. All the characters are sheep with guns.
What you need to
Actually, that sounds pretty awesome,
you guys
to be
ever
honest.
played Worms, yeah? You ever played Worms?
Yeah.
Super sheep. Amazing. The Soap McTavish needs to fucking, he needs to come back to life and like have a sheep.
Soap McTavish, we've got this special operator from Wales. Meh.
Innit?
The sheep just walks in with a knife in its teeth.
Knife strapped with C4.
Yeah. I do now want to make a game about a first-person shooter with sheep as the main characters. I think no, I don't. That just come to me.
You could do it, Ram.
Yeah. But yeah, it's yeah. So Navigating Across the Earth, that also explains why they describe it as a Lemmings-like game, because obviously that would be a Lemmings was probably not. I can't imagine not that well known outside sort of Europe and America. I'd imagine.
Sure.
It's a game you definitely know more about the. I think it's a well-known, because that's a British-made game as well. But from memory, yeah. But yeah, you're navigating around this sort of thing. You have to sort, and as I say, you get into each level, and it's quite neat. So the fact that you can like pick which sheep you're going to tackle the level with, and you can also do things like you'll come across things that if you like run the sheep through them, they get almost like upgrades, temporarily upgrades. So they might like give you something to sort of protect them from like shields or like hay sacks. They have like a hay race. It's got a lot of all sort of humor in it, and it's also fucking hard. So you can, on the PC version, you can actually pick your control input. You can either use keyboard, a mouse, or a joypad.
Wow, does it actually recognize? Well, you probably wouldn't be able to test. I was going to say, would it even recognize modern controllers?
I don't know. That I do not know.
2000s PC games, PC games all the way up until around the Xbox 360 era, like games after Assassin's Creed 1. And I always say this because Assassin's Creed 1 on PC was a shit heap for getting to work with a control pad, even though it came on 360.
Yeah.
It wasn't until around after that time where like you just plugged in the control pad and you could play your games. Before you had to get like your dodgy random PC specific control pad with your 50 drivers and all that.
Yeah. But both will you can't like use both across the walls, but you can pick which version you're going to use. I personally find the mice one, once you get used to it, the mouse one's probably the easiest one. So it simply works by whichever direction you're pointing, you'll go in. But the more you sort of like move away from the center, the faster you'll go. So you can sort of control it. So if you keep dead center, you'll stop, but you can sort of like control it gently. So once you get used to it, you can do quite fine control.
It's not one of those ones where like you get towards the edge of the screen, you hit the edge of the screen, and all of a sudden you're like 5 miles away from where you want it to be because it kind of accelerates based on.
I mean, yeah, because it's based on how far away you go. So yeah, yes, to a certain extent, I believe that'd be the case. I mean, I've not noticed it when I've played it, and it starts off fairly straightforward, but it does get tough fairly quickly. Just in the second zone, there's just so many things that you are. If you get close to them, this is instant. Everything's instant death. Your character can't die. If your character gets knocked, you just get knocked over. But that's pretty dangerous because obviously once you're knocked over, you could be sort of like you're out. You're not. If your sheep are like sort of wandering off somewhere, and you get knocked over, they can just wander off into death because the sheep have no sense of self-preservation, much like real sheep. this is, again, if you've ever owned sheep, this is quite a traumatic experience because it is so realistic.
I will throw out there, no, I have not.
Well, I have. And I'm sure any of our food listeners or viewers who have owned sheep will know this. But it is a traumatic experience. But in there, it's a little fun little game, and it's a little game I kept and at each level, because each level's only, you'll get a timer, so you're only like sort of 5 or 10 minutes or however long, depending on what difficult level you pick, changes. Difficult level basically changes how long you have and how many sheep you need to rescue. There's a minimum amount you need to rescue. So like easy, you need to rescue like 5 sheep and you get like 10 minutes, for example. Normal, you have like to rescue 10 sheep and got 5 minutes type situation. So that's quite neat. But yeah, it's very much a game of its era. You have a high score board that you can put like limited characters in. It's very much a game that feels of its time, but because it was of its time. But it was a neat little brush down memory lane. So I remember playing that on a Christmas day. Must have been 2000. I remember playing that game on. I remember playing that game on Christmas Day 2000, and and then not getting very far at all because I was shit at it.
What? I thought you said you played it on PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 2 was backwards compatible, wasn't it, to play PS1?
Yeah, but PS2 didn't come out until.
That time in 2000. Didn't it come out in 2000? PS2?
I thought it was 2001.
I thought PS2 was 2000.
It might have been 2000.
I'll have to look there.
For some reason, I've got it in my head. It was 2001.
You might be right. I mean, I am doing this from memory. November the 30th, 2000. I think it launched.
You're probably right.
Yeah. What's not got a launch date on here? Release date. Here we go. EU 24th of November 2000.
Oh, there you go. So it was really late. 2000.
Yeah, it's virtually 2001 at that stage. 24th of November. We are talking like 5 weeks here. So, yeah, sure. And for a lot of people,
that'd probably be why I thought 2001.
Yeah,
because I remember the Dreamcast living a little bit longer over here.
Yeah. And obviously for a lot of people, that'd probably been a Christmas present. So for them, it would be 2001.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a fun little distraction for the pound I spent on it. I'm quite happy. But what I need is I haven't got the childlike reflexes I used to have, or the fine motor control.
I get that.
Cool. Right, well, I haven't got much more to say, Skazz, I'm afraid.
Just what I throw out there, mate. I'm surprised that even ran on modern hardware.
I was surprised too. I was surprised too. I want to actually maybe have a look, see when it was released on PC.
About the same time, I think. Because they've released a lot of games. Well, I say a lot of games. Of the handful of games they've released, a lot of them were on PC.
Oh. Let's have a look. It was released, 12th of June, 2025.
Really? No. If you're looking on Steam,
I'm saying that's what I was talking about when it was released on Steam.
Yeah, I was going to say otherwise. That's not, no.
No, I'm sure it was a PC version before that.
No wonder it works then. They've probably done work to it to make it.
Yeah. Bless it. It's got 34 reviews.
My childhood, mate. Well, it's better than when you played. Was it Sleepwalker, the last one you played on?
Yeah, that just about worked.
Well, to be fair, it only just about worked when it first came out. So
yeah. Oh yeah. So. Wonderful.
Good times, man.
Oh, it's now no longer on offer, so it's now back to $2.49.
Oh, mate, breaking the bank.
I know. Mine's and it's the only game Mind's Eye Production have on Steam.
I'm surprised they've got any games on Steam. That's the weird part of it.
Apparently so. Wow, what a random little game to put on Steam. Yeah, I'm telling you, the guy who's obsessed with sheep still works there. That's why. It's like, right, lads, we need to get a game on Steam. What are we doing? Sheep. I think we should discuss it more. Sheep. No, John, I know you're the CEO, but I really think we should sheep.
Mate, it was a fucking masterpiece, all right?
Yeah.
Get on Steam.
Yeah. Anyway, where are you off to? I'm going to go see Hideo Kojima discussing Death Stranding 3, and he thinks he needs more sheep in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, John, off you go. Oh, thank you. Bye now. Yeah. Death Stranding 3, more sheep.
Yeah,
Metal Gear Solid. Metal Gear Solid.
Start the second one, yeah.
Metal Gear Solid Sheep 5.
You could launch sheep in the air, couldn't you, in MGS5 or something like that?
Oh,
Sheep
probably.
or mountain goats or something like that.
I imagine Metal Gear seemed more in keeping with the theme of the area.
I have no idea. No idea.
Yeah. Was it
I
like?
haven't enjoyed a Metal Gear Solid game since MGS2, so I couldn't comment.
Yeah. Not even MGS3. See, I preferred MGS3
I hated MGS.
Really?
That game sucked dick.
Wow.
You never go full Kojima. And that game went full fucking Kojima.
But that's when he's at his
2
best.
was out there. 3 was horse shit.
Oh, absolutely disgusting. 3 was my favourite. I much prefer to MGS2.
It's a lot of people's favourite Metal Gear Solid game, which is why it's getting a super hyper mega revamped version on PlayStation 5.
Oh.
And it's still, well, it might be on PC too, but it's still horse shit. That game sucks a big, fat, mighty leper's cock. It's shit. A dude that punches fucking lightning. Fuck off, Kojima. Fuck off. A guy that walks around with a giant hornet's nest up his ass. Fuck off. An old man that fucking photosynthesizes. Best part about that game is the fact that cunt died if you got bored of the game for more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, I agree. That is one of the best parts of the game. Oh, good, he's dead.
For fuck's sake.
What
a terrible fucking game.
Oh, I love that game. That's one of the few games that I literally lost time playing.
Wow.
I literally my dad was on like overnights and he used to get twilights, and I remember him coming home one night. It was about 3-4 a.m. in the morning. He's like, "Why are you still up?" It's like, "I'm just really liking this game."
Never know. Maybe if I were to come back to it today, I might be able to look past all of the dog shit. The gameplay was fine. I loved the gameplay. I just couldn't stand the story. Like Volgan's got a dude and like one of them steel drums, and he's punching the steel drum because he's a twat.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, you are so fucking lame. You are so. And that was at that point. I was like, off. In the fucking bin. I was like, everything else about this game was fucking cool, and then you had to do fucking that.
You could wear a crocodile's head and walk through water.
Just that fucking game.
And the fact
from that point
the
on, I was just like,
the fact that Snake took about 1,000 onesies with him with all the various different camouflages he needed.
Yeah, I was just like, Kojima, just take your game and shove it up your ass.
Yeah.
Shove it up your ass. And I would like to revise my thoughts on Death Stranding 1. My God, what a fucking nightmare that game is as well. Fuck off, Kojima. And I will say this as a bloke, before anyone goes, clearly not a fan of Kojima's work. I've played every game that motherfucker has released. Near enough every game that motherfucker has released. Yeah. Oh my God, man.
He's got a horror game coming out, hasn't he? They released it. He's partnered with somebody.
Game again, or?
No, I thought he partnered with somebody to make a horror game. That was
fucking Death Stranding 2.
No. This was He released that. There was that trailer he released of like all those like really high, like I think they meant to be CGI. They were CGI faces, like all that really high, all like processed faces anyway. And they're just saying like the same phrase all over different sort of styles, and it was all like, what the phrase is? But I think it's a phrase that basically, you have like the quick brown dog.
Kojima.
You have the phrase the quick brown dog. Brown fox should say dog, which has every letter of the alphabet in it. This phrase like has every possible like lip and mouth movement you can do to make words. Oh, what is that game called? Let me I'll have to Google this.
Don't get me wrong. When like Kojima pushes tech, Kojima and his team pull off some wonderful shit. But someone needs to tell that man, fucking no, stop. Although I understand why him and Sam Lake get on so well, because my God, those two must be smoking some pretty hardcore shit. It's a spiral. Which, by the way, Hideo Kojima had a cameo in Control.
Did he?
And Sam Lake of Remedy was in fucking Death Stranding. So
there you go. It's called OD, the game.
all right. I feel like he may have OD'd when coming up with that shit.
But that's the best thing about Hideo Kojima is that he's just insane, and the fact that it seems to be his normal personality.
Yeah. Yeah.
You do have to wonder what happened to him as a child, don't you?
Not a lot. He spent a lot of time watching films, from what I understand. I've watched documentaries about Hideo Kojima.
And do they capture the essence of his madness?
Yes.
Good.
Yes. Nothing against the guy. Nothing against the guy. Just can we stop having Saturday morning cartoon villains in some of your video games, please? Please. That is all that ruined 3 for me. Metal Gear Solid 3 for me. It was the fucking the guy that punches lightning. I was like, dude, just fuck off. Just fuck off.
I didn't know Death Stranding 2 is called Death Stranding 2 on the Beach.
Yes.
It sounds like a 1950s like carry-on film.
You've never played Death Stranding, have you?
No,
Yeah.
no.
No. So it makes sense if you've played Death Stranding more.
I've honestly, I believe it's in the beach, like sort of like the sort of in between world or something like that, between sort of life and death.
Yeah, another full Kojima moment. Thanks, man.
But that's why you go into the games knowing it's going to go Kojima.
Yeah, but you never go full Kojima. Not even Kojima should go full fucking Kojima. Like that, and somehow, some of Kojima's stories are really fucking predictable. It's just like, how are people not seeing where this is going? And it's like, oh, right, yeah, because your fan base is like 12. They've not quite wired themselves into how fucked up the world is yet. It's like the Force. Don't explain the Force. The way they fucking redid everything.
And don't explain the Force in such a way that apparently it could be cured with some paracetamol.
Yeah, that's it. But that's pretty much what Kojima does as well. It's like, oh yeah, fucking everything's nanomachines. Dude, fuck off. Fuck off.
At least you can't cure nanomachines with paracetamol. Well, I'm assuming you can't. I don't actually know enough about nanomachines.
Paracetamol's are pretty hardcore, man. Pretty hardcore.
I don't know.
Fuck up your nanomachines if you take too many paracetamol.
No. We all know
no fucking nanomachines, that's a laxative.
Or we all know the cure for nanomachines, which is ambrosia.
Fucking. Oh, God, don't go full Kojima. Don't. Just don't do it.
Kojima, stop. Kojima.
Oh, my God.
Oh.
That said, MGS4 was fucking terrible as well, but I played that.
Oh, I didn't like MGS4. I couldn't get into MGS4.
No, it was terrible.
Yeah.
It was bad.
I tried numerous times to get into MGS4 and I failed multiple times.
It looked great. And if I remember correctly, that's the one where you fight Metal Gear Ray with Metal Gear Rex. That bit was great.
I never got that far.
Everything else wrapped around it, horseshit. Like it looked great. That one fight was great. Everything else, put it in the bin.
If I got 1% of the way through that game, I literally got to the bit where you meet the guy who's like the arms dealer. Trevin. That's as far as I got.
Wow, man, you've been that game off fast. Wow. And when people, do you know how people criticize me for, oh, you didn't give the game a chance, man. Fuck, dude, Ram barely even got off the start. Well, actually, no, you say that. About 1% through the game is about 6 hours of Kojima-length cutscenes.
Oh yeah, I'm not counting the cutscenes.
And just as a note, I played like a wee while ago. I played through Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, the Platinum Games take on a Hideo Kojima Metal Gear game.
Oh, wasn't that terrible?
Fuck me, that story is absolutely fucking bollocks. But it was still more tolerable than fucking MGS3 and 4, maybe 5. I don't know, I never played 5, so.
No, nor have I. Nor have I. 5 is that's what they got rid of David Hayter, wasn't it? Number 5. That's what they got.
Yeah. Apparently, Kojima and Hayter didn't get on very well at all.
Oh really?
Yeah. What? That was not Kojima's choice. Hater was not Kojima's choice.
Oh,
But the trouble is, much like how I say Jim McCaffrey is Max Payne, like
yeah.
David Hayter
It's
is
Solid Snake. Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about the Japanese voice actor, although I will say the first version of Metal Gear Solid I ever owned was the Japanese one. David Hayter is Solid Snake.
Yeah.
He is Snake. If you change that fucking voice,
I just can't imagine Kiefer Sutherland as being Snake.
it don't work, do it?
No, he's just. I know. Oh, he's in 24. He isn't in 24. Bad guy. He doesn't do shit in 24. Really, 24. The first season of 24 is enjoyable about 2/3, and then it starts to drop off, and then the worst season just like
there are reasons why it could have worked lore-wise in MGS5. However, the lore excuse flies right out of the window when you realize the Japanese voice actor for Solid Snake returned for the entire game.
Yeah.
That's the only way you could have excused not having David Hayter as Snake in 5. It's like, lore dictates that this happens, therefore that's why things would be different. Okay, fair enough. And then you look at the Japanese version and go, oh, yep, excuse gone. Can't use that.
Yeah.
Fucking Japanese.
You see,
fucking
what
Kojima.
they should have done is gone Kojima on it. Not had another snake, but this snake is one who just farts occasionally and lets himself away and called it Gaseous Snake.
There you go. There you go. They should have just gone full Kojima and said, fuck off. Right, right. I'll tell you what. Next time we have a fucking... Right, Kojima's coming up with a game. Yeah? Just let me sit down. He'll come up with the idea. Fuck off. He'll come up with the next idea. Mate, no. Fucking put the joint down. You've had a fucking enough, son. Go back to your fucking cupboard. Mellow the fuck out. And come back to me with an idea that actually means shit. And he comes back and he'll say, oh, I need to get some movie star to do... Fuck off.
Yeah. It seems to work for him, though, to be fair. He's done all right out of the whole situation.
I don't know. I mean, let's be fair. Have you not heard the story since when he left Konami to form Kojima Productions?
No.
Yeah, mate. He struggled to get that shit started.
Well, I imagine he would struggle a little bit because you need cash flow. So
no one would back him. He's Hideo Kojima, and banks were like, "Dude, fuck off."
He got there in the end, though.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah.
Silly bastards. Don't get me wrong. Some of his games are all right. I still like, to a point, Death Stranding, but after that point, I want to punch someone in the fucking face.
Yeah.
But they didn't need to make a Death Stranding 2. Sorry, they didn't need to. They didn't need to. I was fine with the ending of 1.
Yeah.
Ram, go and play Death Stranding 1 and tell me exactly when your patience runs out. Or you'll go, mate, this is the greatest game since MGS3.
Possibly, quite possibly. Oh well. Rant over?
Yeah, fuck it. I'm done. I'm done.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, everybody, this evening. You can join us on our next games night on twitch.tv/RanNerds
TheSuffolkRam.
or TheSuffolkRam on the 16th of July at 20:30 GMT +1. We're still playing Who's How Much, and we will get past level 4, boss 4.
How many levels are there?
So there are 6 levels there's 6 levels basically. Well, we've got up to level 4, so we've got 2 more levels and 2 more bosses. We're not that far.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Oh my fucking god! It's never gonna end.
But unlike, say, was it Valheim? It's actually still enjoyable.
Yeah. Fucking Valheim. Fucking piece of shit.
You can join us on our next podcast on the 17th of July, 2025 at GMT 18:30 +1. Look, I've had a long, hard day at work. My brain is not working anymore.
It's gone Kojima mode
I've
on me,
got-
man.
Jim would just say you just have to have a feeling when this podcast. Actually, to be fair, that's what I would say. You have a feeling podcast because they're never on time, so you have to have a little feeling when it's going to start.
Right.
But yeah, come join us for that. 18:30 GMT +1, 17th July. I'll catch that in the edit. It'll be fine. So for me, the Suffolk Ram.
Skazz.
See you guys in a fortnight. Have a good evening.
Take it easy, guys.